Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Massive day. Metaplanet buys another $2.4 million. And Bitcoin, the US government lost out on $10.5 billion in a Bitcoin buying spree. German government, they've sold half their Bitcoin holdings. Zhejiang Bank in China, they've gone bankrupt. Gary Gensler is under fire by Coinbase. Inflation, it's out of control. Rate cuts are about to start. JP Morgan warns 86 million customers about their bank accounts. We could see 16 billion injected into the Bitcoin space by one entity Q4 2024, another $1.9 trillion liquidity shock. We do have a massive bullish setup. Let's get it this morning. Huge episode. Bitcoin news. The German government has officially burned through over half of its original Bitcoin stack. Their holdings now stand at 23,800 Bitcoin. They still have a fair way to go. Brighter news, Metaplanet Dylan Leclerc has purchased an additional 42.47 Bitcoin for 400 million yen, an average price 9,419,300 yen per Bitcoin. As of July 8, Metaplanet holds 203.73 Bitcoin. Well done to them. Isn't that massively bullish? One company, 203.73 Bitcoin. Acquired for 2.05 billion yen, an average price of 10 million yen per Bitcoin. Diving into Metaplanet, Japan's Metaplanet scoops more Bitcoin amid Japan's sluggish economic growth. Publicly traded Metaplanet Inc. has bought an additional 42 Bitcoin valued at 2.4 million as Japan's economy faces significant headwinds. Couple of points here. Metaplanet will utilize excess cash flow and implement accretive corporate governance, including financial management strategies such as debt and equity financing to further its Bitcoin accumulation, according to the company's manifesto. Well worth checking out their website there. If you just Google Metaplanet Japan, comes up. They are so hyper-focused on Bitcoin at the moment. Metaplanet's purchase comes at a time when Japan continues to grapple with decade-long economic challenges. Yen's exchange rate has steadily declined, dropping to 160.96 against the US dollar and 173.81 against the euro, represents the yen's weakest level against the dollar since 1986 and its lowest value across the euro or against the euro on record. The country faces prolonged economic stagnation, an aging population, shrinking workforce, further exacerbating Japan's financial headaches over there. Now, coming back to Germany, Karl B. Menger, the German government has sold another 5,200 Bitcoin, worth around 297 million in the last hour. That 297 million, absolutely be shocked with what it is. It's about 900 million. We're going to dive into that. Insane. They are making the mistake the US government did, where they lost out on $10.5 billion. We're going to dive into it. I'll bring it up. It's insane. They're selling the world's hardest asset for something they can print out of thin air. This will be the greatest waste of taxpayer money in human history, but yeah, God bless Olaf for the cheap sats. Thank you very much. Pierre Richard, the German government takes not your keys, not your Bitcoin more seriously than 99% of traders, sweeping unsold coins back to their wallet. Very impressive. Reason I bring that up, yesterday did touch about it for the people that missed it. The German government wasn't buying back the Bitcoin. It got sent back to them because they didn't sell all of it. That's what happened yesterday, just to be very clear. Very impressive. Bitcoin continues to flow out of German government wallets, even on weekends. They did not buy back Bitcoin yesterday. Instead, not all their sell orders were filled, so the unsold Bitcoin was returned to their account. But they have sold a whole lot more. So Bitcoin drops as the German government unloads over $900 million worth of Bitcoin, just throwing it away as quick as they can. Wallets linked to the German government still hold some 23,788 Bitcoin, meaning that it has already sold more than half of its seized assets, according to Arkham Intelligent Data. Couple of things. Yesterday, they transferred 16,309 Bitcoin from their holdings. Bitcoin price fell as low as 55,000 before recovering 56,566. How does it get any better than that? We've got some super cheap sats today. Shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay. Make sure you do smash that notification bell so you know when I go live with the Bitcoin fast facts and keep up to date so you can catch up and get on with your day. Bitcoin's price had dropped to 3% to as low as 55K shortly after the last group of blockchain, let's go this morning. Blockchain transactions totaling 8,700 Bitcoin. Later, it rebounded up, down, and sideways. That's what Bitcoin does, to slightly above 56K, still down 1.2% over the past 24 hours. That's wrong. We are sitting probably at about 0% gain if we get it. 0.3%. Let's get rid of the garbage Ethereum that popped up on the screen for a sec. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but the market observers have pointed to a massive supply overhang coming to the market during the relatively quiet and low volume summer season, with the German US government's apparently selling seized assets just as the defunct crypto exchange Mt. Gox starts to issue repayments. We're going to dive into Mt. Gox. Do not be scared about it. It's great. It's about 90 days. These payments are going to be paid out nice and slow. Should just trickle in. At the moment, it's the German government repeating the $10.5 billion mistake the US government has done in the recent past. Diving into that, Jameson Lott, this is absolutely fantastic. Did you know the US government has seized and sold 185,000 Bitcoin since 2014? See how much better off they would have been had they decided to hodl. So I jumped onto that website. It's absolutely amazing. Here, I'll just make sure I repost this tweet by Jameson so you can get it at Sean Clark 911 for everyone. US government seized Bitcoin sales tracker. They go through the auction date all the way from 2014 to what is left there. But total Bitcoin seized and sold 195,000. Total USD gain from sales was $366.493 million, which, great sum of money. I'm sure we'd all be very happy with that in our Bitcoin accounts. About to say bank accounts, wouldn't want it, wouldn't bother. However, if they were to hold on to it currently, the current USD value of all sold Bitcoin, $10.968 billion. Potential gain, $10.6 billion that they missed out on. The reason why I bring that up is with Bitcoin, we just want to buy, stack, chill, make the most of this glorious opportunity. It's not going to be here for very long. The longer that we can spend time in the markets, the better it's going to be. There's a little bit of an awkward hand gesture this morning. Hey, these things happen. We are live. Anything can happen. And something is happening. Here we go. Ronan, Nicola 3. Event beginning. Zhejiang Bank, hopefully I've said that right. Zhangji Bank of China went bankrupt. Event beginning. People are saying, where's the source, bro? What's going on with this? So I found the source for you. But before we dive into that, in 2023, they were given so many awards. I wonder if this was gaslighting from the people at the top to make people feel safe, keep them trapped in there, give them all these awards. They just came one after the other. Check it out. Major awards to this bank, Zhejiang Bank. In 2023, Jan, the bank was awarded title Excellent Underwriter. Feb 23, bank's digital agricultural financial service platform won Best Rural Revolutionized Digital Current Construction Award. March 23, the award for protecting people's livelihoods. Well, that didn't go so well. March 23, Excellent Award. April 23, elected as a member of the Fourth Stand Committee of the Wealth Management Specialization. It keeps going on. June 23, this is a funny one. If the legal scam mastermind tells the truth, must have been an article they wrote. It won the Excellence Award of the Bank of China Cup. Bank's New Generation Corporate E-Bank Corporate Mobile Banking won the Gold Award. All right, so they totally got gaslight. Everyone felt very safe in there. They were so excited. They thought they were making bank. The bank was safe, but in reality, it was not. And what happened? Bloomberg troubled China Shadow Bank files for bankruptcy. And let's just make sure. The court accepted case after firm said it can't repay debts. Zhongji revealed a shortfall of $36.4 billion. This was Jan 5th, 2023 with them. Zhangji, let's just make sure. I'll fact check myself this afternoon and post on X if I've misspoken anywhere there. The money in the bank account is not yours. whatever you think of Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss playing around with Coinbase, and in the markets with Brian Armstrong. These three, good, bad, I don't know. I'll leave that one for you to decide. But thank you, Brian Armstrong and Coinbase, for doing this. Gary Gensler has been talking out of both sides of his mouth for years. His positions in crypto have been totally inconsistent. The public deserves this transparency. While I don't really agree with much of Tyler Cameron or Brian Armstrong, this is much needed. For Bitcoin, I couldn't care about crypto, but for the whole space in general, this should shed a bit of light of day. Shout out to everyone watching live and watching the replay. Greatly appreciate you being here this morning. Coinbase seeks access to the SEC chair's private emails. Law 360. There's an Australian hip-hop artist called 360 if you're into Australian hip-hop. Anyway, haven't heard 360 for years and years. Coinbase Inc. is pushing, and it's probably mine garbage. Anyway, getting back to the signal, is pushing for access to the personal email correspondence to US SEC chair Gary Gensler, telling a New York federal judge that the private communication could shed light on the regulators' or regulators' views of the crypto industry and downplaying the SEC's objections to the company's alleged intrusive subpoena. Coinbase William Savart of Watchtel, Lipton, Rosen and Katz, what a name for an organization, told U.S. District Judge Catherine Polk Filer on Wednesday, we'll just call this lady Catherine, that the SEC's concerns about handing over Gensler's personal emails are unfounded, and that the chair's private communication about digital asset policy are relevant to the crypto company. Arguments that the agency lacks the authority to regulate. That's pretty funny. What Mr. Gensler, Mount Gensler, I've got Mount Gox in my head. We will dive into that slow sell pressure that's going to come onto the markets. Mount Gox, in my opinion, is nothing to worry about, which is absolutely good. Probably something to get pretty excited about. What Mr. Gensler was saying is private communication about the regulatory status of digital assets and what market participants were saying to him about these matters is probative of the objective understanding of the public and market participants regarding what conduct the securities law prohibits. Savart said in a letter to the judge, which was itself a response to a letter submitted by the SEC last week, objecting to the company's subpoena of Gensler. Let us know either in the live chat or after the show, should Gary Gensler be subpoenaed? Should we see what his emails are, what he has had to say about Bitcoin? The guy started off at MIT. He was super bullish on Bitcoin, giving the white paper to people for homework, his students as homework, saying, hey, it's 9 pages. Put in the proof of work, easy as, and everyone should read it. It's such a good read. If you haven't read the Bitcoin white paper, take the time and take you, 10, 15 minutes at the most, and huge high signal. But then the guy came in, paid man, bought man, and he has done somebody's bidding. I'd love to see those emails personally myself, but we'll see if we get there. I might come back to this video. I thought it was pretty good, posted by Marty Bent. We'll come back shortly to it. A couple of things I want to get through first. Now, worse in history, $1.9 trillion shock after a huge price crash is hurtling towards Bitcoin. This is Forbes Digital Assets. The Bitcoin price has fallen to lows not seen since February. For anyone shaken out by the market, hey, we got a new block. That's pretty cool, but let's see it. It's still green today, but for the recent price crash from 74 down to 56, this is a blessing. This is a great opportunity to be here. It's nothing unexpected, unusual with how Bitcoin goes throughout the cycle. We're still so early. We're going to dive into the rate cuts and the catalysts that are lining up for September and through later Q4 of 2024. But not seen since February. This is really a blessing for everyone that is here. Now, as Fed Chair Jerome Powell has warned of a critical period, Papa Powell's warning. It's a little bit scary. The Bitcoin price brace for the US budget deficit to increase by 20. Whoa, that's insane, actually, when you think about it. By 27% next year to 1.9 trillion, something that some think is likely to support the Bitcoin price. Yellen, don't you love to see her? Until the government stops spending like drunken sailors, Bitcoin as a core holding makes all the sense in the world to me. That's according to Michael Novogratz. Mike Novogratz, aka the chief executive of the crypto-focused financial service company Galaxy Digital. 1.9 trillion. They just cannot stop spending money. And let's actually just bring it straight up. I love this. US national debt clock, $34.888 trillion. Debt per citizen, 103. Debt per taxpayer, 266,000. Everyone's seen exorbitant taxes around the world. In Australia, we've got this tax cut. Absolutely nothing. It's gaslighting. The amount of money they print, the amount that they keep us under, the inflation, none of it is helping us out. But if we remember the US national debt, 34.88 trillion, this number is going to keep going up. It's the reason why Bitcoin's going to keep going up forever and to the right. It's depends what side you're on. Bitcoin, super exciting. It's easy when you zoom out. Enjoy the ride. If people are stuck here, that's pretty bloody scary to not be saving in hard assets. Anyway, checking out the block height, 851,307. We're going to hit refresh. It takes a second to load there. Sats per USD are still looking sweet. This morning, did see they were over 1,700. It did say 1,769, but it's probably going to change a little bit. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin as always, 1,769. Let's go. $1.12 trillion. It looks like a little bit of money is flowing into Bitcoin. What I thought was pretty interesting here as well, average block time, 9 minutes and 47 seconds. Hash rates dropped a tiny little bit over the last 24 hours. 4 days ago, we did get the difficulty adjustment going down. The next adjustment is going to go up 2.39%. If this stays with the low prices, we may see a lot of miners drop off over the next 2 weeks. We'll keep you up to date on that. Good news, little bit of relief, and this is where everything gets so exciting for the end of the year. It all comes down, unfortunately, at the moment to the Fed. Forget what Germany's doing, forget Mt. Gox. We'll dive more into Mt. Gox in a second. Papa Powell's absolutely about to send Bitcoin, in my opinion, to the moon. There's 3 easy rules. You buy, you stack, you chill, and you hold on for dear life. I guess that's 4. We just chucked in the hodl, but the chill is the same as hodl. Now, Kalbi Menja breaking. The Fed probably slashes rates by 200 points over 8 straight meetings as the economy heads for a sharper decline. God bless my money printer. JP, absolutely send it. Now, what are they talking about? Yahoo Finance, the Fed could slash rates by 200 basis points over 8 straight meetings as the economy heads for a sharper downtrend. This is according to Citi. Get ready for a bonanza of rate cuts from the Fed that starts in a few months and extends all the way into next summer, according to analysts at Citi Research. In a note on Friday, the bank cited fresh signs of a slowing economy for its view. The Fed will trim rates by 25 basis points, 8 times, no less, starting in September, extending all the way to July 2025. How crazy is this? We've been talking about September for so long on the channel. Maybe a little bit of a fluke. Who knows? It is lining up. We've got the elections. They don't want the economy to look like it does currently, that it absolutely sucks. They've been pretty good at gaslighting, making people believe the BS narrative, everything's fine and dandy, we'll dive into Australia, out of control. They may increase rate cuts here. They're so disconnected. Anyway, with all that happening, lining up, September all the way through to July 2025, right? And the bull run peak cycle. Absolutely insane. They couldn't time it any better. And this may or may not play out. But that will lower the benchmark rate by a whopping 200 basis points, or from 5.25 to 5.5% now to 3.25 to 3.5%, where they will remain for the rest of 2025. The note said, economy has cooled off from its heady pace in 2023, with inflation resuming its slowdown after some unexpected stickiness, says Citi analyst, led by chief US economist Andrew Hollenhorst. Last 2 points. The data, along with dovish comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, Papa Powell, on Tuesday, suggests the first rate cut will very likely come in September. Continued softening of activity will provoke cuts at each of the subsequent 7 Fed meetings in our base case, Citi predicted. We'll see. Now the world's healing. Dennis Porter, what he is doing And then we need to dive into Trump as well. Before we dive into Trump, this ties in with that, and we'll get into the Australian market at the moment for the fellow Aussies out there. Dennis Porter, what respect. This guy, the team, the Satoshi Action Fund, what they're doing, huge. Breaking. The National Republican Party adds Bitcoin rights to their party platform, supports the ban of Bitcoin. Misspoke. Supports the ban of CBDCs and allowing you to hold Bitcoin. This is a huge moment where an entire party is now absorbing many of the critical advances that have been made at the state level to defend Bitcoin rights. Since the inception of Satoshi Action Fund, we've been fighting to pass laws at the state level to protect Bitcoin, ban CBDCs, which is the most dystopian thing that could probably ever exist on the planet, apart from full-scale war, obviously, and order. But it's financial warfare. It's a tool for that. It's a weapon in order to create the political willpower for federal action. 2015, Bloomberg studied the impact of state activity on federal policy decisions. Everything from women's rights to vote to cannabis legalization started at the state level. Now we also see the right to mine and Bitcoin rights being adopted by one of the two major parties. It is now only a matter of time until we see the USA enacts pro-Bitcoin policies at the Federal Reserve. And Trump's talking about it. He put out a letter about it. It's happening. 2024, the year of Bitcoin, absolutely insane. It's glorious. It's grand. Over 20 states considered Satoshi Action Model Policy 4 passed into law. And in the back half of 24, 2 key battleground states will consider passing these protections. Dennis is saying, big thank you to our supporters and those who believe in the power of state work. Thank you to the lawmakers at the state level and their leadership. Together we use the laboratory of democracy. I love that, the laboratory of democracy, to achieve this win. But we will not stop here. We believe both parties and the whole country should pass Bitcoin rights into law. 100% only makes sense. All Americans must benefit from Bitcoin across this nation before we will rest. What a guy. Once we accomplish this mission, we will guarantee the promise of Bitcoin for generations to come. Shout out to everyone watching live. If you can smash the like button on the way in. We will get into a bit of a banter at the end. We've still got a bit to go through. I told you there's a massive episode today. Little bit of a reminder. Somebody, of course, they're using Ledger. Don't use Ledger. If you've got Bitcoin on Ledger, get a better device. Bitcoin only, open source, air gapped. Just not Ledger. Trezor's just as bad. They're both shit coins. Although Trezor is open source and you can run Bitcoin only software, it's still not air gapped. Norbit. And the reason I bring those two up, Trezor, I guess, a little bit better than Ledger. Both have released user data from being hacked. Trezor has blocked certain transactions. Nefarious or not, totally goes against Bitcoin's ethos. And for me, stuff the risks. Why? It's super easy. Anyway, people still take and do silly things. Norbert. People are still typing their seed phrase into websites when someone calls them and says they're from an exchange and that it's urgent. You shouldn't even have access to your seed phrase on an urgent basis, far less type it into a general purpose computer. That's all of Bitcoin right there. You shouldn't have access to your seed phrase on an urgent basis, far less type it into a general purpose computer. Do that, 99% of the problems are mitigated. No victim blaming intended. These attackers are good social engineers and make good use to leak data from Ledger. Self-custodial security is much more difficult than we let on, and most of us just aren't sufficiently adversarial thinkers. There is a fundamental tension between convenience and security. They go on, Opvolt or similar would help. What happens? Here is a website directed this person. I'll read their context. The website directed me to enter my seed phrase, and I argued with him that this was not safe. He continued to argue that it was. He said that if I don't enter the money as coming out of my account, that Coinbase would not be liable. I entered a portion of my phrase, but not the whole thing. There was a button on the website that he said would disconnect my ledger from the blockchain, but I did not click. He stated again that I will lose money. I did not click the button, but I'd entered a portion of my seed phrase. After about 3 hours, I noticed alerts on my coin tracker, and I also saw the coins drain from my ledger live. Ledger, ladies and gentlemen, it's so bad. Please don't use it. Understand the cheap interface is nice. They leak a lot of data. They are not open source. They're just a bad Bitcoin seed company. About 1.7 million was drained mostly in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but some GRT, Matic, and DOT. They've obviously been around for a little bit. You know, you can make 1.7 pretty quick, but they're still here for a while. They did a couple of things wrong, entered their seed phrase into a computer, took a call from him. Never just put your seed phrase anywhere. It's super easy to remember. And yesterday, it's not quite accurate, but I really liked it and I loved it. I saw a post once and it stuck in my head perfectly. My Bitcoin is in my hard wallet and my hard wallet never calls me. Now, cold storage devices, they don't contain any Bitcoin. They're just a signing device. But your signing device will never call you. It'll never ask for those 12 or 24 words or more. There's other ways to go about it. Just remember that, please. It's going to happen more and more this cycle. Don't fall victim to scams. If you need help looking after or setting up your Bitcoin self-custody, getting off the exchange, Tony, the team at the Bitcoin Way, absolutely epic. 25 years cybersecurity experience. Tony used to work under Steve Jobs. He's an incredible man, knows his stuff. The whole team do. Number one, secure the money. Get that right. Secure your Bitcoin self-custody. Run a node, become self-sovereign. Step number two, protect your devices with Casper. Lock down everything. Your emails, your computer, run VPNs, AI threat detection in the background. What they have, they call it Casper because they turn you into ghosts. Step number three, if you want to, you can diversify your citizenship and secure your future. Best part, first 30 minutes, it's free. Talk to them, find out where the flaws are. If you don't have any, you don't need their service. If you do, they'll point it out laser quick. They'll tell you what you need to do and you can just go bam, 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 1, 2, 3, and happy days. Step one, secure your Bitcoin. 2, protect your devices. 3, get the hell out of Dodge if you need to. Link top of the description. Now, Bitcoin price. Let's hit refresh. I like that number there, 56,363, 6363. Anyway, let's hit refresh and see where we're at. 56,672. We come up a little bit. And it's been fun in the last 24 hours. Sort of, Bitcoin's always fun, even though the price is boring. 24 hours, 54,320. Check that number out, actually. If I zoom in, I've not seen that on the Bitcoin price. I don't know why it does that. 54320. Would be cool if that was one. But a low of $54,320 and a high of $57,879 in the last 24 hours. What's that? $3,500 day. Absolutely nothing. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days to the upside, which we love, to the downside, which we still love. We should love. We'll see what the chart is looking like that. Isn't that great? We just smash the buy button. They're coming. We get used to it. We enjoy it. We buy, we stack, we chill, and we just ride it out. It's about being here for a long time and a good time. Past 7 days, 63 was the high, 54 was the low. If we have a look at the charts, pretty sideways. As James Check says, chop solidation we have been feeling over the last 7 days. We've come down and to the right. This is the chart I like to see more so. 1 month, pretty much the same, which has been glorious. Last 3 months, very sideways. And over the last year, this is where it's heading. So we make the most of these red days for these days. It's 10 to 11 days a year where Bitcoin absolutely just pumps, sends it, and that's about 1 day a month or less, really. There's 12 months a year, 11 days. You don't want to miss it. And it doesn't happen like each month. We don't get 1 day a month where it's just like bang, bang, bang. But we want to be ready, prepared, and it's coming. Now, this is the video I want to show you before. A really good mindset here. So TFTC, Marty Bent, Truth for the Commoner, Fair Lead Strategist, founder Katie Stockton. We're big believers of having a small percentage of a portfolio in Bitcoin. Almost regardless of the price action, we still want the long-term trend on our side. Absolutely on point. You couldn't have said it any better. You want to have a little bit at
I mean,
least.
there are times when Bitcoin can actually be an indicator of what to expect in the NASDAQ or just the risk-on trade.
And correlations have been pretty high, too, recently with the NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin. And then you start to think about them all as these risk assets, right, more broadly. But, of course, the NASDAQ just keeps going and going and going, and Bitcoin has broken some support. So the 60,000 level is what we were watching. And it's not a major support level, but it resolves a trading range to the downside that suggests that we'll see more corrective price action. Next support for Bitcoin is roughly 51,500. So still some downside from here, but still within a long-term uptrend. We're big believers of just having a small percentage of a portfolio in Bitcoin, almost regardless of the price action. We still want the long-term trend on our side, but almost as a call option to take advantage of the upside long-term.
You always want some to be able to take advantage of the upturn, the long-term upside price action tacked as a hedge. McLovin there in the chat. Seems like most people have already forgotten we were at $16,000 only 20 months ago. McLovin, people have short-term memories. What can we say? We're up, what, 300% since then, and people are panicking. This is Bitcoin. It's a patience test. The market's there to test your patience. That's all it is. You just need to spend time in the market. What was Bill Gates' first employee? Held more Microsoft shares than Bill Gates did because Bill Gates was selling them. He's now richer than Bill Gates because he had more patience. He had a better time horizon. Now, Biden, and the reason I bring up Biden, because it's so contrasting to what Trump has to say, and I actually agree with Biden here. I've always known that Wall Street didn't build America with that. They do and they don't. Financial institutions, the way it is now, it's pretty much a Ponzi scheme. The middle class built America. I agree with that. Unions built the middle class. I don't agree with that. But he is saying that's a fact, and then he gets community noted. OP states as facts a claim that is based upon fiction. Labour unions did not have any genuine impacts until the late 1800s. However, unions, I don't so much agree with them now. I think just as people, we need to show up. We can speak for ourselves. If you've got an issue with someone, if you're in employment, talk to them. If that doesn't work, you can go to HR. I guess, but just have a conversation. People are just people. We don't need people parenting, minding us. But the 8-hour workday, 5-day work week came from labour unions better. Otherwise, people would be drove into the ground. So the unions have been good in the past in certain circumstances, not always, and I probably don't agree with them so much now, the union movement. Because the unions fight for higher wages, companies be like, can't pay it, and the company either shuts down or they bring in robots. Now, that's a fact. That's been happening. Anyway, it's always gaslighting. Here in Australia, inflation rates at 3.6%. We covered this the other day. 4% year over year. If you have $100,000 at year 10, you lose, I think, roughly about $36,000 in purchasing power. So you end up with about $64,000 at a 4% inflation rate. Now, the RBA.gov.au, the Reserve Bank of Australia, this is their official website. Their target range is 2 to 3%. Monthly indicator for May 24 was 4%. Annual change March quarter was 3.6%. You see here when it really pumped up to 7.8% December 2022. Looking at that number, we know it's a lie. It's double digits, like everybody felt it. Our house price has doubled. Groceries, electricity, gas, everything that we touch has cost more. CPI, they changed the baskets, what they're measuring in. But say it's double that. So it's really 8%, I don't know, 6%, even 4%. It's absurd. That's how much they want to steal year over year. And then they're coming in Australian inflation rate CPI figure, a shocker. So everyone's feeling inflation. Even if it's only at 4%, everyone's feeling it. There's no doubt about it, and it's happening everywhere around the world. And they reckon they want to raise rates. On June 26, ABS released a higher than expected 4% inflation rate for the year to May, up from 3.6%. In April, the Bureau noted the largest increase in prices were across housing, up 5.2%, food and non-alcoholic beverages, which rose 3.3%, transport up 4.9%, alcohol and tobacco up 6.7%. More and more people trying to escape from the inflation pressure, drown it out, and it's costing them more to do so, to self-medicate. Electricity prices rose 6.5% in the year to May, up from 4.2% in April. What will be critical is the June quarter CPI report, 31st of July. If that confirms the still bubbling inflationary pressure evident in the monthly CPI reports over recent months, the RBA will have no choice but to act. HSBC economists are tipping a 30% chance of a rate rise by the end of the year, while Deutsche Bank is now predicting the Reserve Bank of Australia will raise rates in August by 25 basis points to 4.6%. And their reasoning, underlying inflation is intolerably high in Australia. Maybe if they just slowed down how many people were coming in here, let houses catch up, just let everything cool down a little bit, it'd be way better. But in fact, Australia is the only G10 country where underlying inflation has increased since December. Interesting. Goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about. They're going to continue to gaslight, but hey, property prices are higher than ever, but there's new hope for buyers. There's more gaslighting from them. Well done to them. Realestate.com.au. Australia's medium home value hit a new high in June, but prices grew at the slowest monthly pace in 18 months. Whew, what a relief. Absolutely amazing. Prices rose 0.18% nationally in June, according to the latest PropTrack Home Price Index, and increased by only 6.55% over the past year. Wow. Homes have never been more expensive. I love it. I love how they set this up. While homes have never been more expensive, the slower rate of price growth will be welcomed by buyers concerned about runaway property prices, potentially locking them out of the market. That's gaslighting. That's propaganda at its finest. It's crazy. Well done to the Australian property Ponzi scheme. JP Morgan, they're warning 86 million customers. Shout out to Simply Bitcoin. If you're not following the team over there, definitely do so. Hit subscribe on both their X and their YT YouTube. They might have to start paying for their bank accounts. It is not practical for many of the services to be free if we won't be able to draw from those profit pools, JP Morgan. 100% agree. Bitcoin removes the need for a trusted third party. JP Morgan warns 86 million customers they might have to start paying for their bank accounts. And the craziest thing is, when you give them the money, it's now their money. It's not even yours. So you're paying them for nothing, literally. Go figure. Bitcoin does fix this. It's crazy, hey? And they're such a profitable company. It's just sucking more and more economic purchasing power out of people that are already struggling. And mark my words, the people that have like a couple of dollars in their bank account, only a couple of $100, couple of $1,000 in there, they're going to be hit with the highest fees. People with a lot of money and probably no interest as well to even counteract, not that that's keeping up with inflation. People with a lot of money, probably no fees would be my guess. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Well done to them. This is hilarious. It's just the gaslighting that's happening everywhere around the world. The reason I bring all these things up is Bitcoin's inevitable. 56,759. Who cares? Under 100,000. Good deal. $1 million. One day. Is that today? No, in my opinion. $0 or $1 million. It's coming. I don't think $0 is coming. So many Bitcoin psychopaths will just buy it up. But the money system, people are being screwed from so many different angles and being lied to and manipulated, and things are not as good as they are. When we had Lawrence Lepard on last week, if you haven't seen that video, check it out under videos in the podcast playlist. When we had Larry on, he's like, it's a sovereign debt crisis level now. Nation states are set to collapse. But jobs, they look okay if the government just hires everyone. 41% of jobs added since 2019 were the government burning taxpayer dollars. And the government employees are still required to pay tax to keep the facade up that they're earning the bread and butter. Nothing against anyone working in the government. It's just the large governments are not good for the people. Ash Crypto, the $16 billion in stablecoin liquidity will enter the market. I just want to jump in there on Ash Crypto there. Could enter the market. But people are worried about Mt. Gox dump and the other bearish factors, but there's something that will take the crypto market to new highs. The FTX is planning to distribute more than $16 billion to its creditors. So here's the timeline. August 16, voting deadline, FTX customers. October 7, Judge Dorsey's decision on plan approval. If the court approves, FTX will reimburse creditors within 2 months. As per the timeline, this will occur Q4 2024, Q1 2025. It's lining up amazing. Rate cuts, money printing, the election, Q3, Q4, Q5. I think it's going to be insane. This perfectly late Q3. This perfectly matches with other bullish factors like rate cuts. Hilarious. FASB accounting rule implementation, which is absolutely massive. Like, that is insanely bullish. Should I do a whole episode, a pre-recorded, edited video on the FASB accounting rules? Let us know if you'd like to see that in the comments after the live. And US election results. It's game on. It's rocket time. Given that most of the FTX customers were crypto bros, a huge chunk of $16 billion will enter the crypto market. This will be the biggest catalyst for higher prices. Bitcoin will go above 120K. ETH will go above 12K. I highly doubt it. Maybe it's possible. Who knows? Me personally, I'm not interested, but you do you. And many other alts will pump 10 to 50x. Many will, but there's tens of thousands out there. Good luck finding that one. If you find this content interesting, hit like and repost. Ash Crypto, although he is in altcoins, he does come out with some good articles from time to time. So I appreciate you, Ash Crypto. Now, Mt. Gox creditors, this is where we just need to take a breath and realize they're not just going to flood and dump the market. It's all gravy. Germany, they've gone through half their stack already. They're selling. It was dumb, but they've done it and they may continue to do more. It's fine. It's all good. It's all gravy. But in regards to Mt. Gox, I don't think it's anything that we need to worry about whatsoever. Due to this, Mt. Gox creditors may have to wait for up to 3 months to receive their Bitcoin. Now, not everyone, and it's very staggered, which is what I like. The timeline for creditors to receive Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash repayments varies depending on custodians. Oh, if you're holding Bitcoin Cash, that's probably going to be dumped on the market very, very quickly. In my opinion, just keep that in mind. Do your own research about it. May take up to 90 days for those claiming the repayments with Kraken accounts. So we've got a bit of a timeline here. Trustee has previously detailed the timeline for payouts to become visible in creditor accounts may vary depending on the exchange. Kraken seems to be the longest there. They're given 90 days to process payouts. Bitstamp may take up to 60 days. BitGo will have payouts visible within 20 days. SBI, VC Trade, and Bitbank will both complete payouts within 14 days. It's so staggered, and I really don't think it's going to... Like we've seen the US, not the US government, they obviously sold a while back, you know, going back over the years, but the German government, 23,000 Bitcoin left. They've sold half. There's 140,000 coins in Mt. Gox, but the sell pressure is not going to be as intense as what we've seen from Germany, in my opinion. Maybe I get it all wrong and we get cheaper sats. Like, let's go. I'm all for it. But we'll see and keep you updated. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a bit of a nothing burger, especially with the timeline that pushes out to be. This is absolutely fascinating, and I brought this up as a reply to a comment. If you had a quantum computer, could you steal Satoshi's Bitcoin? Let's explore. If anyone's worried about quantum computers with it, I will repost this at Sean Clark 911. Check it out. It's absolutely awesome. It's brilliant there. And diving into Trump. Trump's official Republican platform pledges to halt crypto crackdown. Though not listed as a top priority, the Republican National Committee adopted a platform to aim to boost digital asset innovation. Now, can I ask a serious question? Are there any Trump or are there any Biden supporters in the House this morning? And let us know, RFK, if you're for or against him. And is there anyone else that could potentially run against Trump? Is there going to be any switch this cycle, or what do you think is going to happen? I'm so removed here down under. I'd be really interested to be able to learn more. But diving into Coindesk.com, former President Donald Trump's party is committed to opposing a central bank digital currency. Well done. People don't really understand. The average person, the average Bitcoiner does, but how bad a CBDC could be. To have it blocked, or even just as a talking point by the former president, and if he becomes president and follows through with this, absolutely massive. The world is waking up. People are pushing back against the WEF agenda, the WHO agenda. They're starting to ask more questions. They don't trust, they verify, which is something that everyone should do. But former President Donald Trump's Republican Party has officially adopted a platform that would seek to support cryptocurrency innovation, according to the document released Monday by Republican National Committee. Let's go. The platform is meant to lay out the party's priorities as presumptive presidential nominee Trump and Republican congressional candidates head into the November election, and it reflects Trump and the other GOP politicians' rising interest in digital assets. Republicans will end Democrats' unlawful and un-American crypto crackdown and oppose the creation of a CBDC. Say they oppose the creation, but why not ban it outright? I'd like stronger wording there. According to the documents, we will defend the right to mine Bitcoin and ensure every American has the right to self-custody, that's massive, of their digital assets and transact free from government surveillance and control. That's Bitcoin right there. You can do it right now. You don't need anyone's permission. If you need help, reach out to the Bitcoin way. Become unconfiscatable. I want to say, I don't want to swear today. I've done so well, but become unconfiscatable. Have FU money. You can do it with Bitcoin. That reality is here right now. But to have it passed into law, for your rights to be respected, that's what we want. That's winning. That's good. That's the news with the fast facts. We're going to dive into a Bitcoin banter. Hang around if you want. Otherwise, hit that notification bell. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, I've got Cam coming on. Really, really interesting fellow pilot. Should be a really good rip tomorrow morning. So tune in for that one. And Rob Sayers coming in on Friday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, we're a day ahead here, down under. Maybe upside down, but we're living in the future. It's a cool place to be. Now, shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay. You're all legends. It's so great to be here. Gargoyle, truly appreciate you. Everyone, Jake Thomas in the house, the price of freedom. To be on this journey for freedom, when Bitcoin's only at $56,000, people are putting in the proof of work. It's such a blessing, so great. I'm sure you've had this experience where you're at home and you're around all normies and you start talking about Bitcoin and they're like, nah, this guy's absolutely crazy. And you're like, no, the world is crazy. I'm just telling you what's going on and what could potentially happen if they keep following this totalitarian footstep towards total control of everyone's financial privilege. People don't want to hear it. They want to put their head in the sand like a freaking ostrich. But everyone here, I truly appreciate you. It's such a blessing to be able to be with the new elite, the people that are going to change the world. Because when you change yourself, it has a ripple effect, the butterfly effect. Saying that, it's an honor. It's a blessing. So let's g'day from rainy Cairns. Did you just get any flat water and get out to the reef this winter? I sure hope so. And I miss AJ Hackett there. It's bungee jumping. I must have gone like 250 times in my youth, like every weekend, 3-4 jumps a day. Pretty cool. So if you ever go to Cairns, go bungee jumping, go to the reef. Everyone out there should go bungee jumping. It's a hell of a lot of fun. So is snorkeling, diving, morning, everyone. And BTC. Good to see you, Phil. Notice there's still no trade in Bitcoin ETF for the US, almost like it's an election year ploy. Notice there's still no Ether crap coin ETF, although almost like it's an election year ploy. Did see that they were starting to roll in, but for me, it's a mind virus. It took so long to remove that, unhook myself from the altcoin degenerate casino. I see it, I just scroll past as quick as I can. And to give me solace, there's enough going on with Bitcoin. Notice that government lettuce hands. G'day, g'day, g'day. Bitcoin Buddha in the house. Knoxville. G'day from Canada. What's Canada like to look in? Like, you see photos, videos of the place, and it looks absolutely amazing. Seb Bunny sent me videos of Whistler. Seb Bunny's the co-author of Beers for Bitcoin, but also, actually, I'm going to do a giveaway of the hidden cost of money. We've got a few signed copies here in the house. This one's not a signed copy, but I've got 3 of his books. We'll get him on the show, hey, and we'll organise a giveaway with Seb. But he sends me photos up in Whistler there of the seaplanes coming in. Absolutely grand and glorious. The place looks absolutely amazing. But then you see what's going on in the cities and the woke politics and stuff. Is it as bad as what the bad looks like? Or is it sort of somewhere in between? Because obviously we live in this echo chamber. And my ex is very right-wing leaning, and a lot of everything's propaganda. But I'd like to know if it's like an enjoyable place to live. Cost of living, I think you're 3rd. Australia's number 2nd. So what's it like? Does the natural beauty outweigh the destructive politics? Government selling Bitcoin. V Steen, appreciate it. Great news. Separate money and state. Literally get the Bitcoin back on the market. All that is happening now is Bitcoin changing from the weak hands to the strong hands. Very bullish. Let's get it. G'day, legends. McLovin in the house. McLovin some Bitcoin. Knoxville is shouting out. V Steen, g'day, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie. It's so funny over here. Shrimp, we actually call prawns, and they're about this big. Shrimp are like these tiny little things. And very rarely do Aussies cook shrimp on the barbie because they're freaking like this big. Like, why bother? They're good in eggs, scrambled eggs and stuff. Really nice, actually. Shrimp's delicious, but prawns. Nice, big garlic prawns, and then bugs. They're crayfish. They're sort of like your lobsters. They're not as sweet. The lobsters you just have over in the States, lobster rolls. Be it food, 100% with all the bread. But the butter and the lobster, oh my gosh, it's probably one of my favorite things. And then favorite meal, sign relay, we'll get back to the signal, is Dob and Mushy. But it's funny. Throw shrimp on the barbie, mate. And we very rarely eat them. Good to see you. Bitcoin Buddha, Knoxville Buddha, buy, stack and chill, easy investment ever. Let's get it. Great day to sell fiat. Whenever ever Bitcoin dips, I think about how much more Bitcoin I'll get while getting rid of trash cash. Absolutely love it. Get rid of, like, money literally is going down forever. It's so funny when you realize that it's literally just math. Something could happen to Bitcoin. It could blow up. It could get taken out. Sure, maybe quantum computers. That's why I reposted that tweet there about them. Could come in, destroy it. We don't know what we don't know. There's that law. If something's been around for a long time, it's most likely to be around for a long time. Bitcoin's designed to live forever. Fiat currency is not. It's designed to steal as much of the slaves, the citizens' purchasing power, put it into the cantillionaires. They hold on to it. Everyone else gets decimated through fiat currency. One's going down forever. The other one's going up forever. And for me, I believe it's absolutely inevitable. Let's go. 35 trill. Let's get it. The horns suck. You don't like the horns, we'll get rid of them. Daddy Pal, send it. Heck yeah. Slate banner. Horns actually blow, not suck. I'm so confused. What's going on there? The horns, is that a sports team? Can someone enlighten me this morning? The longer the crash, the bigger my stash. Retro Beaver, absolutely love it. GC in the house. GC, I always love your comments. Truly appreciate everyone that is leaving comments, and I've got a few to catch up with. I do apologize. I'm ready for a big pump. I'm not yet, but it's coming. It's inevitable, in my opinion. Say this cycle crashed. It failed. Then we had another 4 years to stack. I think that would be the greatest blessing in the world, but I don't think that's going to happen at all. There's just too many bullish catalysts about to just send it, absolutely send it. So I think it's coming. It's just patience, ladies and gentlemen. Shake out. They want to get rid of the lettuce hands, the weak hands, those people that are scared, the people that buy high and sell low. People, when it dumps and then go super long leverage and then it dumps more and they get wiped out. And then the shorts get wiped out. They want to get rid of all the degens out of here. Super healthy market reset. In my opinion, Elaine, it is good to see you this morning. McLovin, seems like most people have already forgotten we got through that 116K not too long ago. Cold card or Jade, don't F around with your family's wealth. 100%. I've got no affiliation with Cold Card or Jade. Ledger, Trezor, absolute garbage. I understand some people are using them out there. Please just don't. I understand it's a little bit of money, but you're stacking generational wealth. Like that's the biggest takeaway today if you're on a Ledger. Please reach out to the team, Tony, if you need help. Otherwise, just set up something that's Bitcoin only, open source, air-gapped. Cold Card or Jade, please don't F around. Retro Beaver, sending pure signal there this morning. Simply Bitcoin fam in here. Good to see everyone. Matthew J in the house. Knox Bill, I agree with whoever wrote that tweet for him for illicit activities. Brandon needs Brawando because it's got electrolytes. I have no idea where this conversation has gone. No labor unions in China that exploit workers harshly. Yeah, I understand unions are not always good, but they have done a lot of good things as well. Like everything, there's good and bad. There's two sides to the sharp-bladed sword. Matthew J, 2 to 3% inflation is theft, and that's their target. Post office stamps went up 7% today. That's insane. Bought my house in 2015. It's doubled in value. Matthew J, it's, value. It's so interesting, isn't it? Like, same with ours over the last 4 years. Doubled, and you're like, need to do more maintenance. There's other things that need to do. Had the electrician out here yesterday. And I tried to pay him last time to put the aircon in this room when Bitcoin was like around the lows of the cycle. Said, no, yesterday's like, you called it. Everything that happened in April happened in April. Should have listened. I'm like, man, it's still so early. Please just watch the video that I did with Tony from the Bitcoin Way. If you watch that video, you don't get it. That's on you. But like, understand he's got 2 young kids, a young family, a tradie. It's earned a big amount of money, but he's putting all his money into super. As much as you can, I think it's 12K a year. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But slowly then suddenly, people are waking up and realizing houses, the value, everything's going, money's going down. That's why everything is going to keep going up. Smash the like. Appreciate it. Once you understand Bitcoin, these dips excite you. No fair. My comment get cut. Hopefully I read it for you. McLovin, I love the dips. All right, let's just scramble through a couple. And if you are just jumping in, obviously hit rewind. But smash the notification bell. Cam, Aeroplane Man tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. A beautiful aeroplane. I think, I don't know, a couple of $1 million worth, a neat bit of kit. Hardcore Bitcoiner. It's going to be really, really interesting. Guys really putting some proof of work. We'll have a bit of a banter, get through the news. Robin Sayer as well, who interviewed Michael Saylor. We've done a couple of podcasts in the past. Check those out. We all on that list. Sign me up. Put me on the list. Just not the S-Coin or Fiat ones. Let's go. Do all the videos, brother. Love your content. Fasby, all the vids. Bitcoin Citadel's Peaceful Revolution. Do all the vids. I actually like that. I'm going to write that down, and I apologize if there's a moment of silence. I bought my wife a journal, a pretty colored, feminine journal, and it's too thick because she can't fold it over and write in bed. So I ended up with it. But paper's paper, hey, it's sufficient. And I filled up this one. So it is what it is. No hate. It's perfect. But the FASB Citadel Do you just want to see one about a node? I've already built it, but I can always buy another one and do it, or I can just show you the setup. Pretty easy. Let us know what other videos you would like to see. But the FASB for sure. I think that's pretty important, and even Michael Saylor's getting super excited about it. S-Coins, Coin Cash. S-Coin Cash. Don't even put Bitcoin in the name when talking about BCH. It's a poo coin. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin. My node doesn't recognize BCH, nor should it ever. It's total psyop. People got scammed. Same with everything else on the list. Bitcoin, and for me, that's it. Stablecoins have a little bit of utility. I understand. For me, not interested in anything related to fiat, but they do work in certain places. In Aqua Wallet, I think what Jan3 Samson Mel has done, I think that's good, being able to have that, and Lightning, and Liquid, and on-chain Bitcoin. It's pretty epic. If I had a quantum computer, I'd use it to mine Bitcoin fast, not try to get one double spend. 100%, and that's what I see happens. If they hack the Bitcoin network, that's valueless. But yeah, that video I did with Tony talked about nation states. If someone attacks the Bitcoin blockchain, nation states are going to defend it with everything they have. So don't really think we need to worry. My apologies. Elaine, presidents don't call the shots, but the rhetoric so far is good for Bitcoin. 100%. Do you reckon, like, I don't think the current incumbent is calling the shots at the moment. I'm sure he did at the start. And seeing the old videos of Joe, what a guy, as sharp as attack. And, you know, older age and things like that. And I'm talking way out of my depth here. But I don't think he's in control currently. And maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm literally here on the other side of the world. But to me, it doesn't look like he's calling the shots at all. But when Trump was in power, it looked more so like he was on more things, but not everything. And then is the deep state real? Does it come into the mix? Are the presidents just puppets? Wouldn't surprise me. What are your thoughts? Trump will be best for Bitcoin. Yeah, I agree. Out of the people that are going to get in, Vivek, I think, would have been the greatest. RFK would have been good as well. I just don't see it likely. Something dramatic would have to happen. Orange man, good. And basically for end candidate who is pro-Bitcoin, 100%. Trump, Biden, RFK, Vivek, my opinion, they're all politicians. There'll be good things, bad things. We'll agree with some, we won't agree with some. They'll say things, they'll promise things, and then they won't do it. It is what it is. It's the name of the game. Trump or RFK are the two options. Just remember, you can't vote your way out of tyranny. Get Trump in there, we can start grooming the next pro-Bitcoin candidate for the next election, which I think would be Vivek, yeah? Larkwood, good to see you this morning. Matthew J, Nostrich is greater than ostrich. I like that. Trump's policies work, Biden is just an embarrassment. Yeah, and going back, I don't even think it's Biden. I don't know if it's a concentrated attack. I don't know. Own the dip, Daddy-O, let's go. And we've got a couple more comments to get through, and then shrimp and grits down here in South Carolina. What are grits? Are they like little crackers, maybe? Would you call them crackers? Maybe sort of like a biscuit that you put the shrimp on and you eat with cheese? Surely you call them, as a didgeridoo, real it is. I can make sound from a didgeridoo, but I can't do it continuously. But yeah, the didgeridoos, the people that can do that, the native Australians, Aboriginals, incredible. It's such an amazing skill, an amazing sound. They can make them sound like birds, and the circular breathing. It's incredible. It's such an amazing piece of art that they're making when they do it. So yes, the didgeridoos are very, very real, and no shrimp on the barbie. Elaine's sad about that. 2-time Trump voter, and will vote for him the 3rd time this November. And if I was there, I would vote for him as well, mainly because of his Bitcoin stance. Single issue voter here. Elaine, I just love saying didgeridoo. It's a cool word, it's a cool instrument, it's a cool sound. They keep rehashing quantum threat, old news. if you've got like one of those vacuums, and it's about that big, like the pole on it, and you take off both ends and obviously give it a good clean, but they make a pretty good didgeridoo. You just need to get a really good seal and like blow out and get those lips to vibrate and just stuff around, but you can make some pretty cool sounds. It's the circular breathing that's the hard thing. Have fun, clean it properly if you're going to do it. PVC pipe doesn't work as well, but I understand most people aren't going to be able to get a didgeridoo. I should actually get one. They're incredible. I would like to get it the right way, get it gifted by an elder instead of just go out and co-opt their culture. That's my belief, and that's the reason why I don't have one currently. I've always wanted one. Cool instrument. 100 messages today with Restream Chat. We've read so many. For everyone just jumping in, hit the notification bell. Tomorrow's video, Friday's video is going to be dope. Thursday, it's going to be absolute fire, as always. If you haven't already, check out that video I did with Tony with the Bitcoin Way. If you're on Ledger, please take away today. Get it off Ledger, get it off Trezor, Cold Card, Jade, good places to be able to research. You can reach out to the Bitcoin Way if you need help with that. BTC Sessions on YouTube. The tutorial's absolutely amazing. Go slowly, don't stuff it up, put your seed on steel, get it right. It's generational wealth. Bitcoin at $56,790. It's great, it's grand, it's glorious. You feel like you're making money, but it's actually nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're here for a long time. At least I am. 56,000. I don't care. It's still under $1 million. This generational wealth, and my belief that we're setting up. Steel, absolute minimum. Ledger, absolutely not. Trezor, absolutely not. Please do the right thing. Take it slow. Run a node. You're here. You've done it. You've won the game. The whole game. Hard money, hard assets. And you just turn trash into actual money. It's easy. Rinse and repeat. Please don't screw it up. Anyway, do something nice for yourself. For somebody else out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Peace.